right, how's it going, guys? Jake here, joined by my father, Bob, and you are watching Dude Ranch DIY. It's been a while. This is probably the first video you've been in since
since my
rotator cuff. Actually, somebody in the comments on the last video just asked how you were doing.
Yeah, Mom told me
last week.
Yeah. No, I'm doing fine. Had physical therapy this morning. Got about another month, and I'll be good.
Now we can start splitting some firewood.
Right, exactly.
Right. Well, to this afternoon, I just got home from work and we got a couple things going on. Got a new piece of equipment in the dump trailer, which my dad is here to help me unload. But before that, my uncle was over last weekend and he brought Sarah and I 2 of these lilac bushes. Said it was a tradition when you move into a house to plant lilac bushes. So we got 2 of them and we're gonna plant one right here on the corner of the little barn. Then we're gonna put one over on the other corner of the house where we're soon going to be starting construction on a stamped concrete patio. So my dad and I are going to dig a hole. We don't have anything fancy, no peat moss, no fertilizer or anything. Just going to throw it in the ground and hope for the best. Give it some water. It's a beautiful day here in southwestern Connecticut, so we're going to get digging.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I like to do when we're planting stuff like this is to pull it out of the pot. Pour some of that stuff in there. Mix it in, and then we'll just break up this root ball. You can see how these things, especially trees, but even little flowers and bushes, stuff like that, shrubs, get pretty root bound from sitting in these pots. So it's just good to go in with your hands, if you have a little garden trowel, and break it up a little bit. Always over the hole, because all that good stuff is now going back into this hole, and it'll help it. So we'll put it in there. We want it about ground level. We're a
little higher.
How are we over here? A little higher?
Yeah, a little higher than ground level. That way it'll get more water.
How are we doing? How's that look?
Okay, good.
Good?
That's it on this. See,
all right.
You may
want to give it a little water?
I'll give it a lot. That was pretty dry in the pot. I think we want to give it a lot of water.
Yes, we'll give it a lot for now, and then we'll backfill it in, and we'll hope for the best.
Nice.
All right, guys, so here we are in the back of the house. Through those French doors is the kitchen, and we got the tractor back here, and it's actually Sarah's birthday today. So this is part of her birthday gift that I got her. She, although she loves the burn barrel, she wanted something a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. So I got her this fire pit, and that's next on my list of things to assemble, which has been quite long lately, including all this patio furniture that I assembled last weekend. But as you can see, here's the bed that we worked on last weekend. I came through earlier in the week and pulled out, mostly in this section here, a lot of the little, I believe they were like oak saplings and some vines that were just growing all over in this section. It had clearly been neglected. This section I haven't gotten to quite yet. I pulled out all the small ones that I could get by hand. There are still a lot of these kind of shrubs or something. You can see that they were cut down at the base at some point. It's a little too early, although I am an arborist. It's a little too early for me to be able to tell quite exactly what they are, but they're all over the place, both big and small. So I'm kind of waiting to see what they are. If they're pretty, maybe we'll keep some of them. If they're not, I'm gonna rip up this whole section and we're gonna replant it. But for now, we're thinking about putting this other lilac bush. Dad, why don't you show them where we're gonna put it?
I think we were talking about right here.
Yeah, right about there, because there was clearly at some point some steps. I don't know how far up they went, but there's 3 steps right here.
Still more stones up above, but it's grown over.
Yeah, so we're gonna put this lilac right here to kind of accompany this lilac that's already in bloom. This is the only one on the property that's in bloom. We have, I think, 3 others that were existing. This one's gonna need some pruning. after it's done flowering. But we're gonna get this guy in the ground right here, right now. Okay, so we got our first planted bush shrub here in this sea of weeds and whatever else may be in here. But the lilac is in. Hopefully it thrives and we'll enjoy it and its flowers for years to come. All right, guys, now I know I said it's Sarah's birthday today, but I got a little gift for myself. Now, yesterday, I went and I picked up this Brush Hogg. Now, it is used, but the gentleman owned a landscaping company, bought it, used it for one job where it clearly paid for itself, and then he had no other use for it. So he wanted to sell it, and he was selling it for cheap. And he used it, just like I said, one time to mow a 7-acre, field that was just really overgrown for one of his clients. And it was too big for him to store, and it just didn't make sense for him to keep it. So I was the early bird and got it. And it is a Land Pride RCR-1260. So it's a 60-inch, 5-foot across Brush Hogg. It still has like all the paint on it. There's barely a scratch on it, even on the underside. I'm super excited to have it and be able to use it here on the property. As you can see, especially over here, we have a lot of underbrush and just small vines and saplings and stuff that I'm hoping it'll help mow down and make it a little bit easier to blow the leaves come the fall time off the lawn. And then over on the other side of the lawn, over that little hill over there, between us and the next house, there's more of the same stuff. So I'm hoping that that'll help. And then when it comes time to eventually cut in my road to get back to the wood yard that I've yet to show you guys, but it's planned and it's gonna be back there, I'm thinking that this thing will help maintain the trail and the road and the area around it. So my dad and I here, I think the plan is we're gonna hook up the winch to the front of it, and then I'm just gonna tilt the trailer and hopefully let it slide on out and pull forward, kind of like a roll-off dumpster, and then I'll be able to back the tractor up to it and hook it up. And we might, maybe if we got time, be able to try it out. Now, I've never used Brush Hogg before, so it's definitely gonna be a learning curve, but I'm really excited to at least get it on the tractor and fire it up.
Forward. The wheels cocked up. Slowly drive forward.
Okay guys, so here we are As I said before, this is the Land Pride RCR-1260 rotary cutter, or Brush Hogg. It's in great shape. I just put on the Pat's Easy Change little linchpin guard things there on either side, and the top link pin in the top. So we're gonna back up to it and hook it up. My dad's gonna guide me back, and I have these, oh, my shadow's in the way. I have these stabilizer bars back here now instead of the turnbuckles, and what I've read is that when actually brush hogging, it's good to put the pin in the adjustable position. That way it can kind of sway back and forth a little bit more. In case you hit a rock or something, it can kind of bounce around it, and it's not as rigidly fixed to the back of the tractor. So we will try that when we actually go, you know, cutting with it, but for now we're just gonna pick it up and get it moved out of this little parking area because Sarah has a bunch of girlfriends coming over tomorrow for her birthday. It's gonna be a beautiful day, hit about 70 degrees, and we're all going to a brewery to celebrate. So it'll be fun, and I might get to play with this a little bit in the morning, we'll see. Okay, so we got it all hooked up. I just learned my first lesson with this, that it is conveniently actually the same adjustment points, and it uses the same holes as the chipper. So when switching between this and the chipper, I won't have to worry about adjusting the 3-point hitch arms. I got the top link in. It's roughly about the same as the chipper as well. So now I'm gonna hook up the PTO to the shaft to the PTO on the tractor, and we'll be able to test it out. Okay, PTO is now on. Everything's hooked up. We're going to lift up the arms just a little bit and see that it's level left to right, and maybe we'll give it a try. Okay, so we are on a hill here, and the whole tractor's tilted this way, so it looks pretty good. We're gonna need to actually find some real level ground to make sure that it's totally level, but I'm gonna drop it back down and see from the research that I've done, and I'm sure a lot of my viewers have these and have used them for years, so let me know in the comments how exactly you think it should be adjusted. But from what I've seen is that the back should always be higher than the front because that's where everything gets discharged out the back. So I'm gonna put it down, and we'll see what that looks like. So it's now resting on the ground totally, but if I lift it up, the tire is still on the ground. That's just barely gliding over the gravel, and the back has probably, oh, a good 6 inches. So I think it's probably adjusted pretty well. The guy that I bought it from had a Kubota L3901, which is the exact same frame and everything tractor. It's just less horsepower. I have the L3901, he had the L2501. So it should be pretty well adjusted for my tractor, I think. So we're gonna pick it up, turn it on for the first time, see how it does. So guys, my dad was wondering what the bottom of this thing looked like because he's never used one, and I was telling him that there was like barely any paint scraped off. If you could see under here, it is really clean.
I'd hate to get my hand in there.
Yeah, I hate to get anything in there. But this should be a fun tool to have around the house. I don't know how much we'll actually be using it because we don't really have any pasture or fields that need to get mowed per se. However, like I did mention, we do have a bunch of this underbrush here, which I'll probably have to go through and pick out some of these bigger fallen limbs and stuff before I can mow it. But I think it should be good there. And if not, I definitely have some jobs I can use it at. And if not, then I can always sell it, because like I said, I got it for a really good price, and I think I could definitely stand to make a profit on it. So guys, as I'm trying the Brush Hogg here for the first time, like I mentioned, I've never really used one of these, so let me know if it looks to be adjusted properly. I can say just from these couple minutes that you'll see here of me using it for the first time, it seemed to me like the front end was maybe a bit too low. It almost was kind of like bulldozing the leaves and stuff in between the rear wheels of the tractor and the front of the Brush Hogg, and kind of pushing stuff. And you'll see right here at the end where I actually lift it up, there's a bunch of leaves in front of it. So I was thinking maybe I should try and raise up the front a bit. That way it's not acting like a bulldozer and it kind of just glides over everything. But let me know in the comments below how you might adjust it, and the best way to be using one of these on, you know, similar areas with these small like shrubs and saplings and vines and stuff like that. I think it did a pretty good job, and it definitely helped chop up all the leaves and stuff that were back in there. But it's definitely going to take some more practice and just seat time with it to figure out how to use it best. worked pretty well.
It did.
right, guys, that's gonna wrap up this video. What do you think of it? That was pretty cool.
Did a great job.
I mean, you've never used one of these, right?
No.
I've never used one of these.
No. It's a killer. It's a monster.
I mean, obviously that was kind of hard terrain. We were on a pretty steep hill, and it was small brush. But I mean, it even chopped up all the leaves and everything.
Oh yeah.
Because I blew all the leaves from this big bed over that way, so I kind of wanted to see if it would chop it up. It kind of mulched them all up and took down those small vines and prickers and stuff. We hit something, I think it was like a log or a branch that was covered underneath those leaves. But I think this tool is going to be pretty useful around here. It's not, although I don't have any big, wide, open pastures or fields or anything like I mentioned before to mow per se, there are a lot of little areas where I think this thing could just kind of squeeze in. And even if I just back it in to one little spot and plop it down, it'll save me, you know, probably about 20 minutes of being out there with, you know, clippers or the chainsaw or something and cutting, and it kind of does it all at once, mulches it up. So it was pretty cool. I've never used one, like I said. I'm really looking forward to using it more around here at the property and cleaning up all the borders and everything. If you guys have any tips as to how it should be adjusted or how I should be using it, I'm definitely open to that. Please put feedback in the comment section below, because like I said, I'm new to it and my dad doesn't know anything about it either.
Right.
But it'll be fun, and we can use it at your property too.
Right, and what you said is, along the border, you get rid of all those shitty brushes and stuff.
Right.
And that way you have room to blow the leaves in the fall.
Exactly. That way they're not getting all caught up in the saplings and the prickers and briars and stuff like that.
Right.
So, yeah, I think overall it was a good purchase, and I'm looking forward to using it in the future.
Me too.
As I also mentioned, it is Sarah's birthday, so I got to go shower up. We're going to go out to a dinner. I got to give her a couple gifts and stuff that I got her, and we're going to have a nice night, just the two of us and Louie here at the house.
And Sunday we're celebrating with the family.
Yeah, Sunday's the family day in the pouring rain.
Right.
So, thanks for watching. As usual, if you like this kind of stuff, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. By the way, I forgot to mention in the last video, we finally hit 2,000 subscribers.
Oh, really?
I think we're at like 2,025, so we've surpassed it, and
Great.
that's a good milestone.
Welcome,
we got
welcome.
to over 2,000 subscribers in under a year. So to any new subscribers, thanks so much for subscribing. I'm Jake. This is Dude Ranch DIY. We got a lot of new stuff going on with the new property, and we're really excited to share it with you. This is my father, Bob.
How are you?
He'll be in a lot of the videos in the future, and that's it.
Did they hear about the big green egg?
I showed them the big green egg.
I
Yeah.
didn't see that.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to do a little big green egg cooking episode at
Oh,
some
yeah.
point. But that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you here next time.